Hey everyone, this is Tom Seymour with New York Cine Radio. I'm here with John Hogan and Benham Jones, and they are, what would you call it, curator of the cinema under the influence?
Curators, yeah, it's the term we use.
Yeah. Oh, nice.
Cool. Yeah.
Very cool. So this is something that is in Long Island City, and this is so cool because we're right here in Astoria, and this is like what we love on New York City is talking about stuff that's going on, in the area. So tell me about this cinema under the influence. What is it for the people who are listening?
Yeah, so months back, maybe about a year ago, actually, I was looking around and I'd realized that, we have a vibrant film scene here in Queens, especially Astoria, Long Island City. One thing we were missing, though, that was in other parts of the city. There's the Nighthawk in Brooklyn. There's the Alamo Drafthouse up in Yonkers. Beverage service with classic films, with, repertory cinema. And, Ben and I have been friends since college. We both live in Astoria. One day I'd said to him, let's try and get something going with this. We started speaking with venues, looking around, and we did our first program back in October.
I believe the genesis came because you did not get a job at the Film Society of Lincoln Center, and you were so pissed.
That helped. I would say that probably helped.
You were like,
yeah.
I hate everything. I just want to show some movies.
I wanted to get some film experience under the belt. Thank you, Ben. Yeah.
I mean, that was the truth. That was the truth.
That's great. So then you scored this awesome venue in Long Island City, right? Mm-hmm. How did that come to be?
Actually, through Ben, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I made my first short film, which is a movie called Broke. It's just like a 15-minute movie we made for like under $1,000. I did that last year and submitted it to a bunch of festivals, and the Chain Theater in Long Island City was the first festival that got back to me and accepted the film. So they showed the film there in August, and I started a relationship with Kirk Gaskowski. He's a really nice guy, very enthusiastic about programming the space and getting people in there, especially the local community. He's also really into nerd shit like comic books, and he loves films. Clearly, he has this great film festival that Broke has now played a few film festivals, and they're not all created equal. But Kirk and the crew at the Chain really love the movies that they're playing. But I hooked him and John up mostly because John is really, he's a fundraising guru, and that's what he does professionally. So I wanted to get them together, and then it kind of clicked that when Cinema Under the Influences was coming into being, we kind of thought that the Chain would make sense, and they have been so good to us.
Yeah, and really, this is our fourth program with them now.
So the place is called The Chain?
The Chain Theater.
The Chain Theater, yes. And that's right off the G you guys were saying, right? Or
easy
right
access from Brooklyn.
All the trains, actually.
Right near where 5 Points used to be, and it's a PS1?
PS1, yeah.
And the Court Square Diner. It's just a 1 minute walk.
Mad love for the Court Square Diner. So much love.
Love that turkey sandwich.
Yeah.
And for lazy folks like me in Astoria, that's about as far as I want to go. That's pretty good.
You're not going more than 20 minutes from home. Right. Either from Greenpoint and North Brooklyn or from Northern Queens. So that's pretty cool.
Did you guys read that? I think it was Time Out gave a sort of ode to Queens thing.
Yeah.
Do you have any feelings about that, or?
I just don't want it to make where I live more expensive.
No,
that's pretty much what it comes down to.
I can't afford Time Out anymore, so I don't know.
I can't pay the Time Out rent.
Yeah. I hated it. I was like, just stop talking about it. Let people continue to think it's some kind of Siberia of New York.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's really happening, especially in Long Island City. It's pretty incredible.
It's blown up there quite a bit. Yeah, and we're glad to be kind of on the ground floor of that, but at the same time, we'd like to be able to afford living places. So
exactly.
A balance of that would be awesome.
Did that bum you out when 5 Points? I don't know if you remember that I think it was 2 years ago. They in the middle of the night painted over it.
Of course.
I was planning to check it out for the longest time, kept postponing plans, and then suddenly the paint over happened.
You never saw the 5 Points?
I never got to walk amongst the 5 Points, dude.
You probably saw it on the train.
From the train, definitely, but never on
Which
the
is
ground
not
level.
a bad view. I mean, it's a pretty impressive view.
It is a work of art. They're going to put up garbage over there. I'm really sad. And, they moved... the Shannon Pot Tavern, which it's still, the friendly shithole's been moved down the street, but everything just gets boxed out, man.
Yeah.
The new 5 Points is going to be the biggest eyesore we've ever seen in our lives.
Oh, I'm sure.
Probably designed by some neo-minimalist artist at PS1 who's now trying his hand at condos or something.
Well, that whole area, there's some housing that came up at Hunters Point South, and I was like, well, I'd like to live in a new building, and I looked at they're like affordable housing in quotes.
That's
I think it's like 3 G's for like 1 bedroom. And they're like, this is for the little people, this is for the really poor people.
That's the same thing that happened out in Harlem and a lot of other Brooklyn. It used to be mad affordable. You can't. My old neighborhood that I grew up in, when it was crack dealers and just all over the place. You can't afford spots there no more.
I used to live over like 129th and Lenox and got priced out of there. Like even Harlem, I'm getting priced out of at this point.
I mean, I'm holding on for dear life in Astoria, man.
Yeah, me too.
It's like
me too. I'm really worried. I'm gonna move next year, and I want to stay in the same building even.
Yeah,
and I don't know if it's gonna happen. We'll see what happens.
But that's why we love the chain, because even though there are all these sort of like newfangled glass buildings going up, the chain, the space itself, and the crew that runs it are like very down to earth.
So
folks.
The chain is like a theater that's allowing you to screen there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Variations Theater Company holds their shows there. That's Kirk's. He works with them. That's his theater company. They do theatrical productions there and other programs as well. They've wanted to do a cinema program for a long time, so we're doing that.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Now let's get into the dirt here. What are some of the cool screenings you guys got coming up, and what are some of the cool things that you've already shown?
Okay. So coming up, I'll start with that. On April 11th, we've been talking with Videology in Brooklyn, actually. So awesome. We're bridging the gap between Queens and Brooklyn. We're going to do a screening of Anton Corbijn's Control, coupled with Anton Corbijn music videos and footage of Factory Records performance. So Joy Division, The Happy Mondays, New Order, stuff like that. So we're going to be doing that there at Videology. And then days later, we're currently planning in Georgia to do the same program at Cine Athens in Athens, Georgia. So we're looking to do our first program outside of Queens, and then days later, our first program outside of New York.
Oh, wow.
So we're excited for that. There's previous programs we've done. First one we did was a pairing of David Lynch's Blue Velvet and John Carpenter's Halloween.
Oh, awesome,
kind of like a Suburbs Are Scary type themed, evening.
Right.
After that, we did Drive, Nicholas Winding Refn's Drive, paired with Patrol, a film by Rich Devaney, who's a local filmmaker out of Brooklyn. A couple weeks back, this was Benny's idea. I don't know if you want to take it from here.
My favorite so far is we showed The Birdcage just 2 weeks ago. Mike Nichols, The Birdcage.
Mm-hmm. And Robin Williams and with Nathan Lane?
Yeah.
Okay.
Which I think is often overlooked because it kind of came out at this, 1996. It's like movies didn't quite look right at that point. Everything looked kind of cheap, but it's still a masterpiece from Mike Nichols. And we showed that along with a classic Robin Williams Live on Broadway stand-up set.
Oh, incredible.
And then Hogan just left out what we got coming up next.
Oh,
you jumped the gun.
Well, I wanted to build up to it, of course. Come on.
So, and then coming up in just, I don't know when this is airing, but
tonight it'll be on tonight.
It will be on tonight.
Uh-huh.
On the 20th of February, we're doing a screening of The Last Starfighter.
Nice.
Which is also my pick, and we're coupling it with a classic episode of Batman the Animated Series, which is the Riddler's first appearance, which is it's called If You're So Smart, Why Aren't You Rich?
Yeah.
And it's when the Riddler traps Batman and Robin in a lifelike video game. So sort of to go along with the whole gaming culture.
Oh, that's great, man.
And like human interaction in video games. And we should also say about the programs, it's Cinema Under the Influence because we have two pieces that complement each other, but also because you pay $15 for your ticket and then you can just get mad drunk on beer.
Ooh, what? Okay, so we got beer. We got any wine?
We got the beer.
That's just beer at this point.
That is what we got a keg, and it's coming from Finback Brewery,
nice,
which is a Queens-based brewery.
Doing their IPA,
nice.
Great stuff.
And so with your ticket, you get pretty much all the beer you can consume. We also have a raffle. We got some great sponsors that hook us up. For this particular program coming up, 8-Bit and Up in Manhattan, we're going to be raffling off a whole Wii set, which
That's going to be exciting.
Yeah.
Wow.
Royal Collectibles in Forest Hills is giving us some great comic book memorabilia.
They're giving us some Batman. They're giving us a Batman-related lot. Dark Knight Returns, which is one of my favorites, coupled with a couple action figures from the animated series.
And then local restaurants, too. Queen's Comfort, which I actually I work over at Queen's Comfort, which is right down the street from where we are in Astoria.
Great food,
Great
yeah.
place. Yeah, they're friends of our kind. Yeah, we're gonna like raffle off a chicken and waffle or something.
Oh
you know?
man, that's
Why
so
not?
good. There's a couple things that I love about this. I love the fact. Well, first of all, I love the idea of like the cartoon and the feature.
Yeah,
That just sends me back to the. I mean, it's not that I'm not old enough to remember the movie theaters where you watch the cartoon before the movie or after, whatever. But I love that idea. I love that. There's something very cool about that.
yeah. We tried the double feature with Halloween and Blue Velvet, and I love that. And I do a double, triple feature sometimes.
Yeah.
It's not
Yeah.
for everybody,
Yeah.
so we've sort of stepped back from that, and we do now a short. Or I really thought the Robin Williams stand-up was such a great sort of soft intro into the Birdcage.
Yeah, we played it, as people were coming in, they could hang in the lobby,
That's
they could
awesome.
watch it in the theater if they wanted to. It was all very leisurely. It was nice.
I also love that you guys have single-handedly, along with your there's one more partner, right? What's his name?
Oh, our friend Brian Essman handles all the finances because John and I don't know anything about that.
So like, you guys and Brian, you single-handedly have brought like you said, this cool thing, like the Nighthawk I've been to, but it is kind of a nightmare when you get out of the movie it was like, I don't know, 2 or 3 in the morning.
Yes.
I'm like, I have to take the L. And let's be honest, the L is a little rough coming out of Brooklyn, and that it's like a million drunk hipsters. It's a little difficult,
Every third person has an amp on the platform, It's one of those things.
Yeah.
I mean, the idea, Cinema Under the Influence, as much as we want it to be Queen-centric right now, and that's how we want to incubate it, it's a mobile program. So as we sort of acquire more gear and we're able to sustain ourselves, we would love to do it in all sorts of weird spaces, And as much as I love the chain, hopefully eventually we'll kind of outgrow. It's a very small theater too, which makes it very fun. And when people
intimate, it's
people
nice.
get a few beers in them, and pretty much everyone has just won a raffle prize. Like they are having the best time. But eventually, I would love to have more space, more seats, and bring it to different, kind of more peculiar venues that maybe suit the films in a certain way.
Yeah.
Also want to say for Last Starfighter, during the cocktail half hour or hour, we're going to have live 8-bit music from a local Astoria guy, and he's going to be doing video game music while everyone's chilling. So
that's awesome.
That'll be cool. Yeah.
I love that stuff, man. So at Queen's Comfort, now you guys were talking about doing some kind of podcast project or something like that right out of there.
Yeah. We're just, Queen's Comfort. If people are listening, they're in the story. You said you got a wide listenership, but it's kind of a weird little clubhouse, and we've had a big year. It's kind of becoming a little bit more than a restaurant, and we got great personalities over there, and we are just starting to figure out how to kind of take the next step to further evolve with it. And John was talking earlier. We're going to start selling comic books there because we all love reading comic books and we want our customers to get into it. But we're going to start podcasting and stuff. And we're going to have like a regular brunch sort of debrief because lots of fun stuff happened at brunch. And you guys were talking earlier about we got James Avatar on the door, who's like 65 years old from New Orleans, telling dirty jokes to ladies as they walk down the street, We got great personalities like him, but then there's also the food that we want to talk about, and also we show movies at the restaurant too, And granted, we have DJs at the same time, but we show Samurai Cop, and we want to talk to you about how we feel about Samurai Cop. So hopefully we can be podcast buddies soon. Once that project gets rolling.
That's awesome, man. Yeah. I mean, Queen's Comfort's pretty incredible in the reputation that it built up so quickly, and the awareness of it. It's pretty phenomenal, So I could see the podcast doing really well. It sounds like a really fun idea, and I fucking love Samurai Cop.
Yeah, dude. Talk about some video game music. That whole soundtrack is like Sega. He's so funny, Samurai Cop.
That is awesome. So as far as let's see, Cinema Under the Influence, did I miss anything? Is there anything we didn't hit about Cinema Under the Influence? Now we got a Facebook page. It is, what is it?
Facebook.com/Cinema Under the Influence. Any interest in tickets, any interest in the program, we have cinemaundertheinfluence@gmail.com for contact. That's pretty much it at this point, I would say, right?
Yeah, I mean, and we would love to, if anyone is listening and they want to talk to us about the program, or they've been to the programs and want to let us know. We would love that feedback. We actually, the first experience, after the Birdcage, we went out to a local bar in Long Island City, and we ran into a bunch of the people that were at the program.
Oh, awesome!
And we were such pains in the ass. We were like, "How'd you hear about this?" We want to know. We want to know how to get the word out. And because part of it is also showing movies, and I think with showing Halloween and Blue Velvet, that was a great way to start. But those are movies that do get shown in New York and on a big screen from time to time. Since then, doing The Birdcage, doing The Last Starfighter, doing Control, those are movies that don't really get revived. And even though it's not like super, like small market art film shit, I think it's cool to do things that, those movies that like when you're flipping through the channels at your parents' house on Thanksgiving or Christmas or something, the one that you'd always stop on, man, like The Last Starfighter, The Birdcage. Those are the movies that I stop on, and I just watch.
Yeah,
and I want to see them with the sound. The sound is a big part of it too.
Yeah.
Seeing a movie like that with the big sound.
Or like, what about like Buckaroo Banzai?
Yeah.
Classic.
I mean, yeah,
or even like War Games might be fun to show.
War Games.
We talked about
that.
Yeah,
that was second choice for this month.
Sweet.
But Starfighter.
Oh, Last Starfighter is fantastic. That's great.
And I haven't seen that screened anywhere in New York before, so I mean, like,
that's awesome. That one. So again, what's the date on that one?
That's February 20th at the Chain Theater. That's a Friday, and it's going to be 8 p.m. is when it starts.
Awesome. Okay.
It's our first Friday night too.
Yeah.
So
is it?
Cool. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Don't be surprised if a couple of us show up.
Oh, dude, we'd like to invite you guys. All four. You guys should all come.
Oh, that is our guest.
Friday night. That's awesome.
You'll probably win a raffle prize.
And that is so cool of the theater to give you that day. I know how hard it is sometimes for a theater a movie theater or a regular theater to provide like a Friday time slot. I think that's so awesome of them.
Well, as a plug for Chain too, they're doing a sci-fi month of programming right now. So the day after we're doing our screening, they're doing a live reading of the Back to the Future script, like a live condensed reading. So there's trivia, there's prizes, there's interaction with the crowd, there's jokes at the expense of the film. So this is part of like a larger month of programming.
And also beer. Like they're doing it's a script reading under the influence.
Have you guys ever been to the Found Footage Film Festival?
No, I've heard of it though.
I love everything about it, but I also love that there's beer there.
Yeah.
It's the fact that there's beer there, or there was at one time, is actually super important to me.
Yeah.
So I love the what you guys are doing, Cinema and the Influence. I think it's really cool. So
nice, thank you.
Cool. Well, thanks for being here, John and Benham, and you guys should come back again.
Awesome.
Yeah, thank you guys so much.